Hey guys, welcome to another Fix It Friday. Today we're going to be working on this old Weedeater brand Featherlite Weedeater. Um, the owner said that it was running fine and it just started acting like it was starving for fuel and it died on him and it couldn't get it running again. So I'm going to go through and check, make sure it is getting fuel. He said he pulled the spark plug and it was dry, so it doesn't act like it was flooded, but on the back side of the motor here there's a lot of oil or gas residue, so I'm going to pull it apart and see what we can find out. So I've been working on the Weedeater, got it running again. Started out, pulled the spark plug. It was pretty dirty, so I took some sandpaper and filed down the little point in the arm part, and I actually had another spark plug laying around, a new one that fitted, so I just went ahead and put the new spark plug in there and pulled the air filter off so I could get to the carburetor. Pulled the carburetor off. It didn't look too bad. I just cleaned it a little bit, put it back on there, but when I put everything back together it still wasn't cranking. So I started looking online and found out these little gas lines here, I think they were, well, when I put it back together, they were hooked up backwards. I don't remember if that's the way they were when I got it or not, but I'm thinking it may have been, because the little line is a return for this purge bubble, and the big one is the fuel line, but they were switched. So I think it was only getting enough gas through this little line to run for a little while and then die. So I switched them, put some fresh gas in it, and now it's running really good. Here's a better view of those fuel lines I was talking about. So the one that's closer to you is the smaller line. That's the return line. It goes in the back hole of the gas tank. The bigger line that's further away, further under there, is the actual main fuel line where it sucks its fuel from. And on the bottom of it, down in the tank, there's a little filter that you may need to check as well, make sure it's not clogged up. But that's the way they need to be hooked on there. The little line is closer to you, so when you press the primer bubble, it pushes the excess back through there and then sucks it up through the big line. This carburetor is weird because you can't really adjust anything. It has this little tamper proof where you can only make like quarter turn adjustments on that little red screw. But it does good now. You do have to choke it to get it to start, but once it starts it runs good. Also, when I was messing around with stuff, I pulled off all of this housing here so I could look at the exhaust to make sure it wasn't plugged up or something. And it wasn't. But when you pull off this back cover, this plate here covers the bottom side of the engine. It's all it is just this plastic is what's holding pressure on the bottom end. And there's a gasket in there. So make sure if you do pull this off, don't mess up that gasket. You're going to get air sucked in there, and then you're definitely going to have a problem. But this one wasn't too bad. I ran it around my whole yard because I was afraid that maybe it was going to do the same thing where you run it for a few minutes and once it got hot or ran out of fuel or something, it wouldn't work. But I bet I had this thing wide open for the better part of 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Never gave me any problems, almost ran a tank of fuel through it. So I think this one's good to go. I think we got it fixed. Thanks for watching.